Welcome back to Creepus. This isn't just another compilation of strange clips. This is a deep dive into moments where normal life cracked open and something far darker stared back. Every story tonight shares one thing in common. The people filming had no idea they were about to document one of the most terrifying moments of their lives. Tonight's episode is longer than usual, and for good reason. Because some encounters don't just deserve to be told, they need time to breathe. We start in January 2015 in Auckland, New Zealand. A group of film students step outside their school near the Parnell railway station, cameras already rolling. The footage belongs to a student named Chris Muir. You can hear the wind, distant traffic, the casual rhythm of a normal day. They're joking around, teasing each other, doing what students do when a camera is nearby and nothing feels serious yet. There's no tension, no warning, no reason to be afraid. Then someone notices movement. At first, it's barely visible. Two shapes in the tall grass beside the tracks. The camera zooms slightly. That's when it becomes clear. There are two people standing there. A man and a woman, completely still. Both are wearing white masks. The masks are simple, smooth, empty. No emotion carved into them at all. And that somehow makes it worse. They aren't theatrical, they aren't exaggerated, they look deliberate. The couple doesn't wave, they don't acknowledge the students, they don't flinch when noticed, they just stare. Chris and his friends laugh, not because it's funny, but because silence would be worse. Because laughing feels safer than admitting fear. Later, they would all say the same thing, that laughter was nervous, almost automatic. Their instincts were already screaming, even if their mouths hadn't caught up yet. Seconds pass, the masked couple doesn't leave. They shift slightly in the grass. Small movements, enough to confirm they're watching the camera, watching them. And the longer it goes on, the more uncomfortable it becomes. Pranks usually escalate. Someone jumps out, someone yells. This doesn't. It just lingers. When Chris later reviewed the footage frame by frame, a chilling detail emerged. One of the figures appears to be holding something, metallic, shaped wrong. In several frames, it looks unmistakably like a handgun. At that moment, the situation stops being strange and becomes dangerous. The masked pair begins to move closer, not rushing, not hiding, just closing the distance. That's when survival takes over. The group turns and runs toward the main road, hearts pounding, cameras still rolling. The mood flips instantly, from jokes to panic. Later, they report seeing a police helicopter circling overhead. What's worse is what came next. Police would later confirm this wasn't an isolated incident. Earlier that week, a woman had been harassed by a masked couple matching the same description at Auckland's Domain Park. They vanished before officers arrived. When Chris and his friends gave their statements, police took it seriously. A public warning was issued. Citizens were told to stay far away if they saw the masked individuals. Officers made it clear, any weapon seen would be treated as real. Eventually, the suspects reportedly contacted police, and then nothing. No identities, no motive, no explanation. When the internet accused the students of staging everything, the school stepped in, confirming the masked figures had no connection to them at all. A Vice article later suggested the weapons were fake, but no official statement ever confirmed it publicly. To this day, nobody knows who they were or why they did it. All we know is this. If Chris and his friends had waited even a few seconds longer, this story might have ended very differently. Our next story takes us somewhere quiet, somewhere beautiful, and somewhere deeply cursed. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, known as the Sea of Trees. The forest is so dense that sound barely travels. The ground formed from hardened lava disrupts compasses and GPS signals. It's easy to lose your sense of direction, and it's easy to disappear. For decades, Aokigahara has been associated with death. People go there intending never to return, and many don't. Near the entrance, a sign asks visitors to think about their loved ones, to seek help, to not suffer alone. In July 2017, urban explorer Burbex entered the forest with a camera. At first, his video feels calm, almost peaceful, the kind of place that seems frozen in time. Then he finds a bicycle. It's abandoned, too clean, too intentional. Nearby, he finds packaging for a kitchen knife, then a plastic bag with writing on it. The note translates to 1211 verified, referencing confirmation by the Fujiyoshida police station. This isn't speculation, it's documentation. This likely means police had already confirmed a suicide, and the belongings were simply left behind. That realization hits hard, because it means these traces are everywhere, scattered throughout the forest. You could stumble upon one at any time. Despite cameras, patrols, and volunteers trained to intervene, people continue to die there. And the more the forest is talked about online, the more its reputation grows. In early 2023, David Meredith steps outside for his usual evening walk in Red Deer, Canada. It's routine, familiar, safe, until it isn't. He spots a massive bull moose feeding near a tree. Curious, he steps closer, hiding behind another tree for a better look. The moose turns and charges. Moose are deceptively dangerous. They don't bluff, they don't warn. David reacts on pure instinct, scrambling up the nearest tree just in time. Once above ground, he starts recording, hands shaking, breath heavy. The moose stands beneath him, staring. Then it begins charging back and forth, head lowered. David later admits the branch he used was weak. If it snapped, there would have been nothing he could do. He stays there for over 10 minutes. Eventually, the moose leaves. David waits even longer before climbing down, knowing how close he came to dying. February 2018. Greg Harris rides his ATV down a wooded trail, GoPro mounted, enjoying the ride. The footage is calm, until it isn't. A thin metal wire stretches between two trees. It hits his helmet. Had it been lower, he would have been decapitated instantly. The wire snaps on impact. Greg survives. These traps are disturbingly common, set by angry landowners, noise haters, or people who simply want to hurt someone. Whoever placed it was never caught. In 2014, near Fernie, British Columbia, Chris is biking when he notices movement in tall grass. It's a mountain lion. The animal stalks him, circles him, watches him. At one point, Chris runs, something you should never do. For reasons we'll never know, the lion doesn't attack. It disappears into the trees, leaving Chris shaken but alive. March 2019. A 5-year-old girl in Fair Lawn, New Jersey finds a pile of women's clothing hidden in the woods. The clothes are cut, stained dark red. Police are called. No one ever comes forward. The clothing is never matched to a person, and the questions remain unanswered. These stories aren't meant to scare you for fun. They're reminders that danger doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it stands silently in tall grass. Sometimes it waits between trees. Sometimes it watches until you notice it. And sometimes surviving is nothing more than luck.